ACC opener for the NC State Wolfpack and the number 2 Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Interestingly enough, the last time the Irish played here in Raleigh was the final game before the renovation at the end of the 2015 regular season. It's the 6th all-time meeting between the Wolfpack and the Irish, and it's next on the ACC Network Extra. You're watching women's college basketball on the ACC Network Extra. We're here in Raleigh, North Carolina, inside Reynolds Coliseum, as the number 2 Notre Dame Fighting Irish at 12-1 on the season open up ACC play on the road against 10-3 NC State. Hello everyone, alongside Chastity Melvin, I'm Andrew Sanders. Delighted to have you on board for tonight's broadcast. It's an exciting one, Chastity, as it's the ACC opener, the 6th ever meeting between NC State and Notre Dame. The Irish are led by do-it-all, all-everything point guard Lindsey Allen, coming off probably her best performance in her career, a triple-double just the other day.
A triple-double, first in the ACC this season, 11 points, 11 rebounds. She's a 2-time Nancy Lieberman Award finalist.
Yeah.
Her assist-to-turnover ratio, she's 3rd in the conference. She's also, in the nation, actually. My bad, Lindsey. She does it all. She has a mid-range shot. She puts pressure on the ball on defense, and she's great in the open court, and her passing ability is superb.
So Allen will lead the way for the Irish, a very talented number 2 ranked team in the country. On the other side for NC State, this is a good three-point shooting team, and they know if they want to pull off the upset to open conference play, they're going to need some good three-point shooting. They look to get that off the bench from the freshman Aislinn Koenig.
Aislinn Koenig has to be an ace in the NC State Wolfpack tonight, and I think she'll come out and play well off the bench for this team. This is the type of game freshmen want to come in and play really well. She could be a star off the bench.
Notre Dame controls the tip, and ACC season is underway in women's college basketball. Told you it's the 6th ever meeting between these two schools. Notre Dame, a perfect 5-0 against the Wolfpack. And that should come as no surprise considering how the Irish have dominated this conference since becoming a part of the ACC. Notre Dame women's basketball 47-1 in the conference. And here is a foul. Dominique Wilson of NC State is impeded, and the foul will go against number 24, Arike Ogunbowale.
Great dribble penetration, way to attack by Dominique Wilson. She got the defense with their feet not set, not low, and a great call by the official.
Here is Wilson. She'll try a 3. And again, that's the recipe for NC State tonight.
If NC State can shoot 53% from the arc, if they can keep this shooting up and stay in the game, they have a good chance tonight to get that upset.
Allen, beautiful dish inside, and she finds Marina Mabry for the Irish's first basket. And right off the bat, you see what Notre Dame can do to you offensively. This is one of the best teams in the country at scoring the basketball, better than 80 points per game. And the Irish, with that Princeton-based offense, they'll run back cuts, and once they get the penetration from the guard, it's awfully tough to stop.
They are very efficient on offense, and a great high-low pass there by Ashley Williams. Great finish by Nelson. Now, there's nothing you can do about the high-low, and Ashley Williams is smart to find her and get that open look inside.
Mabry is a dead-eye three-point shooter. She'll get the shooter's roll here. Mabry shooting just under 35% on the year, leading the Irish in both three-pointers made and three-pointers attempted.
Both teams starting out with a great start.
Nelson down low. She won't get the roll, but she will get the foul call. That should go against Catherine Westbell, number 33. Her first foul, team second, and Nelson will go to the free throw line. Now, NC State is going to be undersized against Notre Dame. Most teams will find themselves undersized against the Irish. So we know they need to make threes, but also they've gone inside now twice to Nelson. They're going to rely on her.
I like that she was aggressive. Once you get 2 feet in the paint, all you have to do is go up with the shot. It's either going to be a foul or you're just going to make the shot because the defense is out of position once you're that close to the basket. So I like her attacking the paint early.
Lindsey Allen will take the ball up. Mabry marked by Ashley Williams of NC State. Agumbawale. She can really score it. Forces one up here.
Great defense by NC State. Coach Moore always has his team that plays that pesky defense in your face. They're relentless on defense, and they forced Arike into a bad shot.
Maya Spencer with 17 on the shot clock. Gets it in the high post to Nelson. Wilson. 3 off the mark, and a foul on the rebound will go against number 5 in white. That's Nelson's first. The last meeting between these two teams came in South Bend. Notre Dame won it 82-46, and that came last year in terms of basketball schedule, but technically this year, February 4th of 2016. Still a couple of days left before we roll over the calendar. Wolfpack with the 2-point advantage and the basketball.
I'm impressed with NC State limiting Notre Dame to 1 possession on offense because you can't give them second and third possessions.
Mentioned the Irish's height advantage at 6'2" is Westbeld, and 6'3" is Brianna Turner. Only 4 to shoot. And Mathurin using every second of that shot clock, and the Wolfpack will get an offensive rebound. And a foul against Mabry. I tell you what, Maya Spencer there, she thought that one might have gone against her. She was relieved to see it went against Mabry. We'll get another look at the hustle here.
It was a great hustle play. NC State has come out to play today. They're starting out on the home court, and they're determining how this game is going to be played right now. And as you know, NC State plays well at home. They have one of the longest winning streaks at home, but also Notre Dame always starts out. They've always started out 3-0 in ACC conference play, as you said. They've only lost once in the ACC, so
it's kind of a battle of, what's going to change here, because as you say, NC State is a perfect 8-0 at home, but Notre Dame has one of the longest win streaks on the road that any team has ever had. 15 in a row they've won on the road. That's the 12th longest in NCAA history.
Great shot by Wilson. Now, if they can keep up this hot shooting and get turnovers like this with Jennifer Mathurin going all the way, missing a chippy. She would have liked to have that shot back, but you like the aggressive play by NC State, getting the turnover. They didn't capitalize on it, but you love the energy that the Wolfpack is playing with in this first quarter.
And strange for the Irish, a careless turnover like that, Westbell just wasn't expecting the pass, and generally that's not a spot where she's going to get the pass. Allen will penetrate all the way, but she can't score it. Couple of missed layups on both sides. Good hands from Turner prevents what would have been a fast break lay-in for Chelsea Nelson. And Wes Moore on the sideline motioning to his club to slow things down.
When you're playing against such an elite team, you want to make sure you take value in every possession. And right there, if you don't see 10 fingers and 10 toes, sometimes you want to pull it right back out just so you can get a great shot. But luckily for NC State, it wasn't a turnover.
And Nelson is going to be called for the foul here, trying to get the entry pass into Turner. And Nelson kind of locked up arms with her.
Well, it's going to take a collective effort from NC State's post players to battle with Brianna Turner. She's long, she's athletic, she's disruptive on defense, and she's also an elite scorer inside the paint.
And so that's the second foul on Nelson. Akila Mays will come out, and she'll guard Turner. Westbeld gets her the ball now. And Turner shows she can put it on the deck, finds an open Mabry. She already knocked down one, not this time. Akila Mays coming off a hand injury. Pretty bounce pass inside from Ashley Wilson. Feeds the 6'5" center. And that's going to be a Notre Dame timeout. NC State with a 6-point lead. So we'll head to break. The Wolfpack opening up the start of ACC play nicely here in Reynolds Coliseum. Back here in Raleigh, Notre Dame trailing NC State by an 11-5 score. Timeout called by longtime head coach, one of the best coaches in basketball, Muffet McGraw, in her 30th season. But Notre Dame has gone cold from the field to start this game. And so immediately out of the timeout, they feed the post. That'll work. Able to get Brianna Turner inside. And then Spencer dribbled it off of her foot.
Great job by Notre Dame to go inside to Brianna Turner. And NC State really doesn't have an answer for her one-on-one. And that's the problem they're going to have throughout the game. Do they bring the double and leave Mabry out open on the three-point line? Right. Or do they leave Brianna Turner to go one-on-one? And if she gets inside, she's capable, very capable of scoring. And it looks like they're going to try to go to her again.
Especially with this motion offense. Again, the repost to Turner. And the rebound goes to Akila Mays of NC State. Here's the freshman point guard, Aislinn Koenig. We talked about her at the top of the show. Very good three-point shooter, NC State. Gonna need to make some threes tonight.
Nice screen and roll action, and Akila Mays is a spark right now for NC State off the bench, and that's what you need in these types of games. Great post-entry pass by Maya Spencer there on that screen and roll action.
.13 on the shot clock. Allen finds Michael Johnson. And inside to Turner again. A little second effort. And last touched by NC State, they say.
Well, the crowd's reacting to that play. Akila Mays made a great defensive play, but she didn't finish it because she didn't box Brianna Turner, one the best rebounder for Notre Dame, out. You got to limit the touches. You got to get a body on the person. You can't play great defense and then not box out.
You mentioned the crowd, and as we showed you at the top of the show, this is a newly renovated facility. This is the first ever women's college basketball game in the ACC played in the new Reynolds. And here's a turnover as that pass just too hot to handle for the freshman Aaron Boley. But it is a very good crowd on hand tonight to welcome Notre Dame to Raleigh.
And the crowd may be the sixth man because Notre Dame has been very uncharacteristic with their turnovers early in this first quarter.
Yeah, and it's surprising because you would think that if one team was going to be rusty, it would be NC State. Maya Spencer, no rust on that shot.
Maya Spencer is the savvy veteran that can also shoot the ball from the outside mid-range. And she's excited about her senior year. Notre Dame has to come into this game knowing that NC State is playing with a chip on their shoulder. If NC State wins this game, this helps them where they've been gypped last year of entering the NCAA tournament. So, you know, NC State really wants this game.
Koenig, she'll get the roll, and it's a double-digit lead for NC State, 18-7, and the crowd is loving it here in Raleigh.
Just great play, great team play by NC State. Everyone's involved, everyone's ready to play. They're being competitive right now, and Notre Dame is thinking that NC State's going to lay over and give it to them. And I think Muffet McGraw is going to hand them a great speech in this second timeout that she's already had to call in the first quarter.
Yeah, second timeout that Coach McGraw has called. And as I was saying, if you were thinking that one team would be rusty, you would expect it to be NC State because the Wolfpack haven't played in 10 days. Their last time out on the road at South Alabama, December 19th, and they won in easy fashion, 74-31. But the Irish, and perhaps it's not so much a rust factor, but a little bit of a fatigue factor. They've just come out flat here. They were in action just a couple of nights ago at UT Chattanooga and a 79-58 win. Here's another Irish turnover, and that's now 3.
It's 3 turnovers, but you have to give credit to NC State's defense. Notre Dame, I will agree with you, they haven't came out with the energy that they need, and maybe it has to do with fatigue, but they also are not playing against this defensive pressure very well. They're not moving the ball as efficiently as they can and they know how to do.
Big block inside by Brianna Turner. It'll still be NC State ball. And Mays was open on that inbounds pass. Was unable to really catch it cleanly. She could have gone up with it. Shot clock under 10. And a no call. A lot of contact there. Fight for the rebound. And there's a foul underneath. It's going to go against Akila Mays of NC State.
And the crowd does not like that at all. The crowd reacts to that. That might have been a play to just kind of let that play out, but if you're NC State, Coach Westmore is going to live with that because his team is being aggressive. They're fighting on the boards and they're trying to get rebounded.
I think that contact play with Lindsey Allen there, the Notre Dame fans are probably going to say, hey, that's a charge. The NC State fans are going to say, that's a block. I will say, you don't see it as much. I would like to see more no calls.
I would like to see them just let them play it out with Lindsey Allen with her mid-range jumper there, trying to get her team back in this.
And sometimes there's going to be some contact. It's a contact sport. There doesn't have to be a whistle every time. And so maybe not in that situation, but just in general, I do enjoy seeing that. Irish able to cut it to 9. The senior point guard, Spencer, feeds the post. Double team comes, and Koenig couldn't catch it cleanly. She did get a hand on it, much to the chagrin of Arike Ogunbowale, because she had some speed. She was off and running. If Aislinn Koenig hadn't touched that ball, it probably would have been an Irish layup for number 24.
And Dee Dee Rogers comes in off the bench, and she's known to be a spark for NC State. She can rebound the basketball. She makes hustle plays, and she can also score and bang inside. She's not afraid of contact. Obviously, that comes from her father, who we all know was never afraid of contact.
Rodney Rogers. Allen gets a good screen, and she'll score it. Screen came from Christina Nelson.
And Lindsey Allen trying to take advantage of the freshman Koenig right now, and she's being more aggressive on offense because she knows that the freshman is guarding her.
Good pass inside. Koenig to Mays. She misses the lay-in.
You would like to see Mays finish that shot. Koenig with a great post-entry pass. She couldn't have asked for a much better pass. Right in her hands, all she had to do was finish it. You can't say enough about Aislinn Koenig. She's a fundamentally sound player. I love her post-entry passes as well as her offensive game.
4 turnovers now for Notre Dame as Nelson shuffled her feet. Good drive from Maya Spencer.
NC State is not afraid right now of Notre Dame. They're attacking. They're taking exactly what the defense is giving them.
Allen. That shot is money. A deep 2 made for Lindsey Allen, the senior from Mitchellville, Maryland.
Lindsey Allen is heating up for Notre Dame, and she's not to be denied at the end of this first quarter right now, trying to give her team a spark and lead the way.
Maya Spencer, she'll dribble the clock down, takes Mabry off the dribble, little pull-up. Rebounded by Westbeld, and that will end the first quarter. It was an exciting first quarter of ACC action. NC State 20, Notre Dame 13, going on the road here in Raleigh. Friday, we just keep on bowling with 2 more games for you on ESPN, starting with the AutoZone Liberty Bowl between Georgia and TCU at noon Eastern. Then at 3:30, it's the Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl. Nebraska squares off against number 21 Tennessee in Nashville. Both games are also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Back in action here in the second quarter between NC State and Notre Dame. I'm Andrew Sanders, joined by Chastity Melvin. Dominique Wilson has a long 2. Just roll out. In the first quarter, good entry pass from Allen as she dishes it out to Westbeld.
Great find by Lindsey Allen there to connect with her player inside. You know, no one saw that but Lindsey, and she dropped a dime on that last play.
NC State was able to build an 11-point lead as Notre Dame was not shooting very well from the field. However, now with that made shot by Westbeld, the Irish are dead even with the Wolfpack. Both teams shooting 47%. So Notre Dame able to stem most of that momentum going into the intermission between the first and second quarters. Oh, there's a travel from Nelson, and it was picked up on. She started to drag that pivot foot, and that's the second time that the senior from Beaufort, Georgia, has traveled.
And again, that just goes to NC State's defense. She was ready to make that that pass, and the guard wasn't open, and it forced her to travel. So NC State's playing great pressure defense, and they're shooting the ball well. That's why they're in the game. That's why they have the lead. 3-point field goal percentage is over 60%. That's superb. I mean, you can't ask to shoot any better than that.
Foul going to go against Akila Mays of NC State, and that's a big one because we already saw Chelsea Nelson go out in the post with 2. And now Mays, and so this is where Notre Dame can really overwhelm teams with not just their size, but their quality depth in the front court.
And they're going for an alley-oop play there. It didn't connect, but Westbell gets the rebound and gets it back to Brianna Turner, who, of course, is going to finish 2 feet from the basket.
And so with Mays, with those 2 fouls, she snatches a big rebound here. Something to keep an eye on, though, on this end of the court is how she's able to defend the awfully tough job of guarding the All-American Brianna Turner.
And sometimes what you can do as a player when you're having trouble on defense guarding Brianna Turner is you can go down and get rebounds like she just did. But Akila Mays has got to be smart. She just needs to play with her hands up and force Brianna Turner to make shots over her.
And just like that, fouls number 2 and 3 against Mays. And so NC State head coach Wes Moore will look to the bench, and he'll bring in Nene Cole in for Notre Dame. Back in as the starter, Arike Ogunbowale. And Mabry comes out for a quick breather. Missed free throw from Turner. That's maybe the one aspect of her game where she's not all world, is Turner just a 61% free throw shooter. Spencer was fouled.
Just a slight hand check there on Maya Spencer, and she caught the defense out of position and attacked the basket.
It's going to be the first foul on Michael Johnson. Four-point Wolfpack lead as we go under the 8-minute mark here. Good pressure from Johnson. Cole will offer a screen and a kicked ball by Westbeld.
Maya Spencer trying to get in that pick and roll action with Nene Coleman. Notre Dame is back in this game, and you knew they weren't going to be down for long.
No. But it did take a couple of timeouts in the first quarter. And both teams kind of settling into the ball game now, you get the sense. Some good dribbling from Spencer. And they're going to call an offensive foul as Johnson draws the charge.
The crowd reacting to this play here. Maya Spencer with great dribbling, but just threw that off arm off, and the ref caught it. Sometimes you can get away with that chicken wing, sometimes you can't. I call it a chicken wing. Throw that chicken wing out.
Yep. Got that left elbow out there, extended it just a little bit. Johnson went flying. And inside, Westbeld, before the pass, is fouled by Dee Rogers. And so that's just Rogers first. But again, the bigs of NC State, the fouls really starting to pile up.
NC State's going to have to play a little bit of small ball right now, and Notre Dame's got to take advantage of that.
Inside, Allen can't get it to drop. Last touched by the Notre Dame point guard. So with Koenig into the ball game, NC State allowing Maya Spencer to play off the ball. Good hands from Allen, but she touched it last.
Dee Rogers, when she gets the ball inside, she's got to make sure she keeps the ball high. Anytime you bring the ball down, it gives the guards a chance to swipe at it.
15 on the shot clock. NC State senior guard Ashley Williams. Rogers had it swatted. 3 on the way from Koenig will rattle out, and the rebound to Ogunbowale. Looking to push. Wide open is Johnson. And the back iron for Johnson. Well, 3-on-2.
And nice play by Ashley Williams to control the ball and go up with it and still finish strong. And nice find by Maya Spencer.
Tell you what, she didn't catch it cleanly.
She didn't catch it cleanly
regathered.
at all, but she regathered herself and stayed composed, kept her eye on the target, and was able to finish that fast break off.
Agumbawale top of the key. Wolfpack lead is now 6. She'll shoot over top of Spencer and force that one up.
Notre Dame is still offensively off right now. They're not playing well together. They're not moving the basketball, and they're taking horrible shots. And Coach McGraw is not. I know that Coach McGraw is not happy with what her team is doing right now. But NC State, on the other hand, is taking time to score. They're working the ball. They're getting the shots they want. They're attacking the basket.
Koenig stays cold from the outside. We told you her shooting was going to be key. She has been unable to hit one. Allen. Tough move inside, offensive rebound to Westbeld, and even with the second chance opportunity, the Irish can't cash it in. In transition, well, the Wolfpack are out and running, Chastity.
The Wolfpack are out and running, and they're finding each other. They're playing team basketball. Ashley Williams created that play because she waited for Nene Coleman. She could have easily taken a three-point shot, but she waited for a post player and fed her. And they're playing the best basketball right now again in the second quarter and have increased the lead again. When you thought Notre Dame was going to make a run, NC State made a run.
Agumbawale will check out for the Irish. Mabry back in. Koenig and Rogers coming out. Notre Dame has not scored in the last 3 minutes plus now. 0 for their last 6.
Notre Dame is not off to their best start shooting-wise, and sometimes when you're having a cold shooting performance, you got to go inside, you got to attack the basket, just like Johnson just did right there. And they got to find Brianna Turner inside.
Michael Johnson, the junior from Huntington, West Virginia, able to score it. They don't really look to her for much scoring, averages just a few points a game. But just shows how capable she is. Everyone on this Irish team. Notre Dame has 8 McDonald's High School All-Americans on this roster. Pretty pass inside, and they call Nene Cole for a travel.
I'd like to see that play again. I couldn't really see it from sitting over here, but I guess the ref has the better advantage. He calls travel. I guess that's what it was. I didn't see her move her foot, but it was a nice find by Jennifer Mathurin. And if that would have been in for NC State, they could have closed that out before the timeout on a great play.
So we'll take a timeout, media timeout here in the second quarter. NC State up by 6. Welcome back, everyone. Inside Reynolds Coliseum, I'm Andrew Sanders here with Chastity Melvin. Here's the 4th-year head coach of the NC State Wolfpack, Wes Moore. And, you know, earlier we spoke about how NC State had 10 days off, and so the players obviously over the Christmas holiday just hadn't played a game very recently. But one thing that it's looking like so far is that gave Coach Moore 10 days to game plan for Notre Dame.
And Coach Moore is efficient in coming up with defensive strategies to try to stop the other team, or at least contain them and not let them allow them to get out a great offensive output, which they've done so well so far in the first half. But he still doesn't have an answer for Brianna Turner inside the paint.
Nope.
She just scored.
Nobody really does.
Nobody really does. She's a problem inside. But Dominique Wilson is a problem outside for Notre Dame as she continues her hot shooting. NC State shooting well behind the arc, and Notre Dame has to go inside to Brianna Turner to get the lead and to capitalize, and they do so off of a missed alley-oop play, which they normally capitalize on this alley-oop play.
Yeah, it was right there, hit the rim actually. But as you said, NC State now 3 of 7 behind the arc. That is a major key for them. An interesting tie-in in this game is that the Irish just beat UT Chattanooga on the road on the 27th. Here's an open corner 3. Not going to fall this time. And quickly, it's a 2-on-none if Mabry can gather. She does. This allows the NC State defense to get back a little bit, and Wilson will reach in and foul. That was a complete run out there.
I would like the ref to let that play kind of go on. I think Dominique Wilson did a great job of getting back, and I really didn't see a foul on that play. Maybe I think they could have let that one go.
Mabry is a fantastic free throw shooter. Notre Dame as a team, very good from the charity stripe. 70% as a team, but Mabry came into this one 27 of 30, shooting 90%.
Marina Mabry usually plays with a little bit of fire under her belt and usually is more passionate for a team, and maybe she'll bring that second half, but she has the ability to put up some great offensive numbers, and Notre Dame kind of needs that right now after the cold shooting start they've had here in this first half.
Notre Dame starting to pick up that defensive intensity. Active hands leads to a Wolfpack turnover. It's Johnson who comes away with it. Irish trailing by 5. Allen. Oh, the spin move and the finish.
Nice move by the athletic Lindsey Allen. And the freshman was on her, and she took it right to her.
Good entry pass inside. Nene Cole has a size advantage as she scores it over the 6-foot Jackie Young.
Nene Coleman did a great job of using her body to shield the defense and keep the defense off and square up, and was able to score inside.
Young hits the back iron. That doesn't happen often for her as Allen with active hands tips it away. Hey, keep an eye on Jackie Young, the freshman from Princeton, Indiana. Naismith National High School Player of the Year last year, and just a 58% three-point shooter so far.
Only 58%.
Small sample size, 7 of 12, but still, it's impressive.
Nene Cole has been a great asset off the bench. Again, just a miscommunication from Wilson and her on that pick and roll action, but she's been a great spark off the bench for NC State inside.
Mabry with a strong take. Gets her own miss. She'll get the basket and the foul.
And there's that fire that I told you about Mabry has, and she likes that on the and one play. She stayed with the play. With her height advantage that she had over Dominique Wilson, she was able to get her rebound back, and Dominique couldn't really box her out and was able to get an and one play off that.
So that's the second foul on Dominique Wilson. And Mabry missed the free throw.
Rare miss from the free throw line for Mabry.
So with that, the lead for NC State, still 3. Koenig waiting to check back in for the Wolfpack. You mentioned that pick and roll action and turnover the last play, but NC State really pick and rolled Notre Dame a lot here in the first half.
And great kick out by Dominique Wilson. She didn't have anything there with Brianna Turner taking over the paint defensively, but
Maya Spencer just had to force something up as Johnson defended her excellently. They'll find Mabry. Quick catch and release. And she might have rushed it a bit. And that's going to be a foul on the Irish.
And that's a frustration foul by Marina Mabry. She missed the shot. She normally knocks those shots down outside, and she just came in. It was just a frustration foul on Notre Dame. They're offensively off this first half, and they're ready to get in halftime and try to regroup and come back out second half, because I'm sure they're not happy with the way they played this first half.
Probably not pleased with it, but still only down 3. That, by the way, the second foul on Mabry. NC State with a chance to go 2 for 1 here. And Spencer a bit out of control. She wants a foul. Crowd wants a foul. Turner the other way. She'll wave off the basket. An offensive foul.
A nice play by Jennifer Mathern to get inside and take that charge. I like the aggressiveness of Brianna Turner. Maya Spencer was a little bit out of control here and didn't get what she wanted offensively. But Brianna Turner, I thought she handled the ball well, but I guess Jennifer Mathern was there. The ref thought so, and great defensive play for NC State.
Mathern, top of the key, thought about shooting the 3 over Westfield.
Notre Dame is picking up defensive pressure right here, but Jennifer Mathern doesn't care. Hand down, shot goes up, and she's worked on her three-point shot in the offseason and has been very prolific from the three-point shot this year in her senior year.
NC State with 4 first half threes. They're 4 from 9. Young gives it up to Turner. She'll get it right back. One more possession for the Irish here. Who better to handle the basketball than Lindsay Allen? Crowd at a fever pitch. Allen, 17-footer. No good. And we'll go to the halftime locker room. NC State leads number 2, Notre Dame 34-28. We'll take a break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with a halftime show here on the ACC Network Extra. Welcome back at the halftime break here in Reynolds Coliseum in the city of Oaks, Raleigh, North Carolina. NC State leads number 2 Notre Dame by a 34-28 score. Here with Chastity Melvin, I'm Andrew Sanders. Chastity, we'll take a look at some first half highlights, and it was NC State jumping out on the Irish early.
NC State were the aggressive team from the beginning of the first half. Started out the first quarter, they had the high low. They attacked from inside, outside. They shared the basketball. They played with energy. They were more competitive than Notre Dame to start this game out.
And then a couple of timeouts from Muffet McGraw got the Irish back into it. They were shooting cold. They picked it up. They're shooting 40% at the halftime break. Got back into it and cut it to 3 at one point. But NC State able to knock down some shots from the outside and to give them that 6-point advantage at half. It's been a well-played game. It's been what you would expect from ACC women's basketball.
ACC's play started tonight, so both teams should have came out a little bit excited. They're playing ACC.
No doubt.
Notre Dame is used to winning. As you know, we
No
all know
doubt.
their record, only one loss in the ACC. But you got to give credit to NC State. When they're shooting the ball well, they're a very, very, very good team. And the ball is falling for them so far in the first half. Now, we do know there's a tale of two halves, as the coach always tells us.
That's right.
Will the ball go in both halves for NC State is the question. We know Notre Dame can play much better basketball. Obviously, they had a cold shooting start to start the first half off. But they have Breonna Turner inside, and if they can just get the ball inside to her more, I think they'll be fine. But NC State had the more competitive edge in this game in the first half.
As you say, NC State shooting the ball better right now. It'll be interesting to note as the Irish, they got the ball inside to Breonna Turner, and in doing so, yes, she was able to score as she had 5 points in the first half, relatively quiet, but she was able to get NC State, some of the bigs, into foul trouble, and that kind of sets up kind of like body blows in a title fight, right, in boxing. It's not the knockout punch, but as the game goes along, NC State foul trouble might come into play in guarding Turner. We'll have to keep an eye on it going forward. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes here on the halftime show. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the ACC Network Extra. Back here in Reynolds Coliseum, newly renovated, as NC State leads number 2 Notre Dame 34-28 at the halftime break. Hello, everyone, and welcome into Reynolds Coliseum. I'm Andrew Sanders, joined by Chastity Melvin. Glad to have you on board. Chastity, we talk about the ACC. Why not? It's the start of conference play. I'm excited. I know you're excited. This is maybe as good as the conference has really ever been. So many good teams in this conference. Notre Dame obviously picked at the top, but really up and down, you can expect a lot of teams to make the tournament.
Well, what I want to start off by saying with ACC, you know what ACC stands for?
What's that?
All clubs are capable
Yes.
of having a great
absolutely.
season. Notre Dame, Florida State, Miami, Duke, Lexi Brown, Syracuse, Alexis Peterson. The list goes on and on. Maisha Hines, Shakayla Thomas from Florida State.
Yeah.
There's talent across this league. And NC State's not in the top 25. But if they keep shooting like this from behind the arc, somebody's got to put them in there.
You say all clubs capable.
all
That's right.
All clubs are capable.
That might just catch on. But as we take a look at the ACC standings, there's so many good teams, and there's some good games being played tonight, by the way, as NC State, Notre Dame, not the only two teams in the conference tipping it off in conference play. Syracuse is at Louisville. Florida State is at Miami. But you look at all these teams, Virginia Tech undefeated, a lot of one-loss teams, and Miami as well. This is awfully exciting as we just are starting to sink our teeth into conference play.
On any given night, anything can happen. And I think just with the influence of Notre Dame dominating the ACC, they've set the standard for what teams need to do to be great teams. In Syracuse and Louisville, those teams have kind of like had to step up their game recruiting-wise, bring in great players, and they're trying to compete with the Notre Dames of the world and the Connecticuts, obviously, of the world. Yeah. So they don't want this Notre Dame team to dominate again this year.
Well, we'll have to see if they can do it. They trail at the half by 6 points. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes on the ACC Network Extra.
Who is this?
We're back here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Andrew Sanders and Chastity Melvin with you here. And January 5th, ACC women's basketball continues as NC State faces off with number 11 Miami. It's streaming live on the ACC Network Extra and watch ESPN. Not tomorrow, but in a couple of days, NC State and Miami. That would be, NC State already playing a really tough stretch. Their first 3 ACC games are against top 11 teams. That would be really something else if you had to play Notre Dame and then Miami back-to-back. Luckily for them, they don't have to do that. But let me ask you first, this is where we'll usually talk about keys to the second half. And Notre Dame first, them trailing in the halftime locker room. We know that they can play better. What do they need to do to take the lead and get a victory on the road in the second half?
Well, Notre Dame usually has an efficient offense. They work the ball. They get the exact shots they want. Give credit. NC State always plays great pressure defense, but Notre Dame is the team that they normally capitalize on their alley-oop play that a lot of teams love and the fans love, that everyone knows is coming, but you can't stop it with Breonna Turner. They haven't capitalized off of that offensive play, but they're not sharing the basketball. They're playing too much one-on-one basketball. Now, I'm sure Coach McGraw, the Hall of Fame coach, got on them, and I'm sure she's going to make some adjustments for her team in the second half.
On the other side for NC State, I'm sure Wes Moore feels like his team could play better. However, they're up 6, and if you offered him that at the start of the game, he'd probably say, yeah, I'll take up 6 at halftime. What do they need to do to continue being up?
Well, first of all, their post players have to make better decisions on defense. They can't make these silly fouls. They just have to make Breonna Turner make tough shots over them. They have to play great help team defense and continue sharing the basketball on offense. Offensively, they're playing great. Defensively, they just need to play smart, play and boxing out. If they can keep limiting Notre Dame to one possession on offense and not give them second and third chance opportunities, NC State can find themselves in this game and possibly, well, some would say upset, but NC State wins at home. We know that, Andrew.
Well, it would certainly be an upset of Notre Dame. If they can pull it off, we'll see if they can after this break. When we come back, we'll start things off in the second half here in Raleigh. Welcome back, everyone, for the start of the second half between number 2 Notre Dame and NC State, the 6th ever meeting on the women's basketball court between these two schools, the 5th meeting since the Irish have joined the ACC. Notre Dame has never lost to NC State, and they've lost just 1 game in conference play in their 3 years in the conference. But trailing by 6 at halftime, a rare halftime deficit for the Irish. And the Irish 12-1 on the season, and the only blemish on the record came on December 7th against number 1 UConn, an 11-point loss, 72-61. The Irish start off with the basketball, and we're underway here in the third quarter. Same starting 5 that started the game for Notre Dame come out here in the second half, and the same goes for NC State. Here's an open 3 off the back iron, and Turner just couldn't grasp it.
And NC State again with that starting 5, they have 4 seniors out there, so they're a smart group, they're a smart team, and they play well on defense. And like I said, they started out early with a great box out, limited Notre Dame to that 1 possession, and Notre Dame again has started out with a cold shooting from outside.
And Notre Dame had just 4 second chance points in that first half. Spencer buries a 3 to start off the second half.
And Maya Spencer and NC State stay hot behind the line. I mean, when you think they can't get any better from shooting, when you're hot, you're hot. Although the temperatures dropped outside, it's hot inside here in Reynolds.
Allen misses one from almost point-blank range, and you're right, NC State 5 of 10 from 3. This time Spencer, little drive and kick. Wilson with the 3, and NC State for the second time tonight are up double digits. It's the largest lead, up 12.
And Andrew, this outside shooting by NC State is outrageous right now. It really is. But give credit to NC State. They're getting quality outside shots, and they're just knocking them down.
And so Notre Dame having trouble dealing with really 4 players on NC State. Williams going to be called for an offensive foul here as she pushed Mabry away from the ball, trying to free herself up for one of those 3-pointers.
Now, really, Andrew, with a face like that, does Ashley Williams look like she would push a player out of the way?
I saw her do it. She does. She looks a little nicer than that. But I saw that's one of those off the ball. You don't usually see those fouls. I saw her. She did extend the arms. That's her first foul. Notre Dame trailing by 12. They go to Michael Johnson at the free throw line. Johnson hounded by Williams. Allen looking inside, and that's an offensive foul. Underneath, Brianna Turner in there banging with Chelsea Nelson, and that's going to be the second foul on Turner.
And the crowd reacting to that play. Great defense by Chelsea Nelson. Way to keep her composure. But I got to understand where Brianna Turner's coming from. She's working her butt off in the paint. She
Absolutely.
wants the ball, and Notre Dame is not finding her right now.
Remember, she had a quiet first half. She scored just 5 points. And as you said, really working hard to get the ball. Here's a hard drive from Wilson. And, boy, that looked like it might have been a clean block from Jackie Young, but she's going to be called for the foul. It'll be 2 shots.
NC State staying in attack mode. They're staying aggressive, and Notre Dame has been on their heels all night on defense. They haven't been in sync on defense or offense.
Wilson steps to the line, a very capable free throw shooter. In fact, she leads the Wolfpack better than 83% on the season. Drains the first. Wilson, by the way, leads all scorers in the game. She's got 12 points, misses the free throw, and there's an offensive rebound. Chelsea Nelson with those 2 fouls. Didn't play that much in the first half. She can make a big impact here in the second. Still the largest lead for the Wolfpack at 13 points. Look inside, good hands from Westbelt, but Wilson's the first to the ball.
Coach McGraw is standing on the sidelines, and she is not happy with her team and their
on the
effort
hips
right now. Giving NC State second and third possessions on offense is not what her team is known for. And speaking of Coach McGraw, she's going to be announced February 18th at NBA All-Star Game. She's on the list of the National Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame. She's already in the Women's Sports Hall of Fame, but to be on that list, that says volumes about the type of coach and the player she was.
Little look inside, deflected, and gathered by Ashley Williams. Little pressure defense from Michael Johnson trying to be advantageous. But you're absolutely right. Coach Muffin McGraw, 30th year at Notre Dame, and already in the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, which is a tremendous honor. But a nominee for the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. Was a finalist before, and Mathurin touched that ball with her foot over the baseline. And I think it's a pretty good bet. That actually recently just got announced on December 21st that she was a nominee. And hopefully Coach McGraw will make it in that 2017 class. Tremendous honor.
Good luck to her. And you just can't say enough about what she's done, battling Gino and having a top team, coming to the ACC, dominating the ACC, setting the standard for the ACC, and bringing it more to a nationally known level and getting recognition for women's basketball. What she's done for women's basketball has been great, and she's one of the pioneers.
Certainly good for the game of women's basketball.
Great for the game.
Good for the
basketball.
ACC, good for Notre Dame, and good for Coach McGraw. Open 3, it's Mathurin. Oh, and if that one had gone down, the roof might have gone off this place.
I think this new roof would have probably exploded here in Reynolds Coliseum.
Well, a hand check will be called. This is before the shot, and it'll be the second foul on Ashley Williams. And Coach McGraw, 2001 National Championship, 7 Final Fours, and the runner-up just a couple of years ago to UConn. Again, a lot of people thought that this Notre Dame team, with UConn losing some players from last year to the WNBA, this Notre Dame team could be the team that would beat them, but obviously falling a little short. Here's Maya Spencer, a little run out.
A bop, dabba, bop, and Maya with the boom. NC State's all over the place tonight. They're still playing with more passion, more competitiveness. and more energy on their home court, and Notre Dame has not matched their intensity all night.
The Irish looking to go to Turner. Didn't have good position. Johnson will put one up. Whistle underneath. It's against the Irish.
Is that the third foul on Brianna Turner?
It is against number 11, Brianna Turner, and that is a big third foul.
And that third foul is probably a frustration foul. She probably wants to be playing a lot better. She definitely wants to get more touches.
Yeah.
She reminds me of when I didn't get the ball when I was in the paint and I was asking for it. So I feel you, Brianna Turner. I feel you on that one. But you got to stay composed. You can't let your team down and get silly fouls. But those are frustration fouls. She really wants to be a part of the offense, and her team's just not finding her right now.
Crowd really into this one. Largest lead for the Wolfpack, up 15. Mathurin, 3 on the way. And she was a little juiced up over that one. Missed everything. The possession is still going to stay down here. It's an interesting comparison that you bring, comparing yourself and Brianna Turner. You were also an All-American. Y'all are about the same size. Do you see a little bit of similarities in your game?
Yeah, I see a lot of similarities, but I was more so I was going to get that ball. She needs to get it. No, really, Brianna Turner, if I would give any advice to her, she needs to get in her teammates' face and tell them, I want the ball.
Okay.
She's got to step up and be a leader now and demand the basketball from her teammates, because sometimes your teammates feel like they're seeing you or they're not seeing you, but once you get in your face and just have a little conversation with them, she's got to step up. It's time for her to be a leader.
Yeah.
Her team is down, and sometimes that's what she has to do.
These are the moments when your best player needs to have the ball, but obviously she's out with those 3 fouls. And that's the 4th foul on Akilah Mays. Speaking of foul trouble, trying to sneak Akilah Mays in there for a couple more minutes. Remember, she picked up her 3rd in the first half. She quickly picks up her 4th, and so quickly, here's number 44, Nene Cole.
And Nene Cole did a good job a great job actually off the bench for Akilah Mays when she came in, and so hopefully she can continue that here in the second half, but Mays has got to be smart on the defensive end. She's got to use her height and her length and just stand there and she can make shots difficult for players shooting over her. So if she learns to just stay poised and hold her arms up and make it more of a difficult shot. Dominique Wilson has been phenomenal tonight with her offensive output. She's scoring at will. She's unconscious tonight, mid-range and behind the arc.
Wilson, 6 of 10. And she's got 16 points. There's a big answer from the Irish. They really needed that basket, and it's Christina Nelson, maybe the most improved player for Notre Dame, dating back from last year to this year. Cuts it to 17. Another pull-up from Wilson. And at some point, she had to miss. But Notre Dame trying to cut into this lead. Trailing by 17 on the road. What a way to start off ACC play. Still a lot of time left on the clock. Again, they go inside. Second chance opportunity, and it's Boley.
And Nene Cole, if Mays is watching her, Nene Cole is using her body. She's standing there and just making the offensive player make a tough shot over her. But NC State is playing great. They're playing great offensively. Notre Dame is just out of sync. They're missing their star player, Brianna Turner, and Lindsay Allen's been quiet.
So we'll head to break at 3:52 remaining in the third quarter. NC State and senior point guard Maya Spencer are off and running, up 17 on the number 2 team in the country. Valero Alamo Bowl. Tune in to SportsCenter at night with Kevin Connors and the coach, Jonathan Coachman. They'll have all the highlights from the bowl games as well as the NBA, NHL, college hoops, NFL news, and the rest of the day in sports. SportsCenter at night after Oklahoma State, Colorado on ESPN. Also streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Coming after the media timeout, Notre Dame misses again. The Irish just shooting 33%, 13 of 39 from the field. And this is, again, one of the best shooting teams in the country. The Irish 49% on the year. That's 8th in the country. Another open 3. And Aislinn Koenig, we talked about her at the Open, might be the key for NC State, and the Wolfpack up 17 here, despite the fact that Koenig is 0 for 4 from downtown. She has just 2 points.
But she's unconscious. This is a player that doesn't see a shot, doesn't know a shot she doesn't like.
Right.
And she's very capable of scoring the mid-range and outside. Once she gets one to fall, I think she's going to be a huge spark. But everyone can't hit for NC State right now. everyone can't make shots right now. But
it sure does seem like it. The Pack, they're only shooting 46%, but 6 of 14 from the bonus sphere. That's 43. Koenig misses again, and here is a rebound for Notre Dame. Definitely needing a defensive rebound. Mabry, well, she got a little too deep into the paint, wasn't sure where she was going to go, and now it's 4-on-1.
Coach McGraw is upset with this play. Not only did NC State not capitalize on the first shot on that transition offense, but they got the second chance opportunity, and that's just something that's uncharacteristic of Notre Dame. Besides the turnovers that they've been having all game, it's just, and give credit to NC State's defense.
It's a 19-point Wolfpack lead. Mathurin for three. Well too strong. Again, as this lead builds for NC State, we've seen a couple of shots like that from Mathurin. They might be getting a little too juiced. Allen inside, and she's going to be called, or Spencer will be called for fouling her, and that is the second foul on the NC State point guard, Maya Spencer.
Yeah, there was a little bump.
And so Nelson will come out for Notre Dame, and now Brianna Turner with those 3 fouls. She's back in.
Brianna Turner, 3 fouls or not, she's got to be aggressive. She's got to step up and be a leader for her team right now. If Notre Dame is going to get back into this game, it's going to start with her.
Jennifer Mathurin comes out to a nice hand from the crowd.
And Marina Mabry's elite level scorer. She's got to shoot better. She's got to get involved in this game too, and have some kind of offensive output for Notre Dame, because they got to get some shots from the outside to fall to cut into this lead.
Yeah, the Irish have no players in double figures right now. Under 2:30 to go here in the third quarter. Mabry with a pull-up. She'll bury it.
As I said, she's an elite level scorer. Notre Dame is not looking like the typical Fighting Irish, the team that's number 2 in the country in points and number 2 in turnovers. They're just not playing their greatest style of basketball tonight.
Turner, active hands, it'll force the turnover. So a basket, then a turnover. Can the Irish pick up some momentum here towards the end of the third quarter? Well, Mabry had to pick up her dribble. Looking inside, and that's defended nicely by Chelsea Nelson, fronting the post.
Chelsea Nelson is playing great post defense, but that guard Johnson really tried to force the ball into Brianna Turner, and it probably wasn't the best post-entry pass. She could have found a better angle to try to get Brianna Turner the ball. They've got to work that triangle and try to figure out that triangle. Use the corner pass. Pass it into her from the corner.
A little shake of the head from Coach Moore as Chelsea Nelson is called for her third foul, and it's an offensive foul away from the ball. You see the reaction from Turner.
Those whistles were laid. That play, they should have let that play on. I think that was a makeup call from the other end, because I think Coach McGraw was calling for a foul.
You see the athleticism from Allen, and as you said, it's the third foul on Williams, but as you said, the best players have to step up in these kind of moments when you'd like them to step up before you're down double-digit points, but at 17 points, we've seen Turner and get back into the game, and Allen right there just going one-on-one and saying, hey, I can get to the cup and beat you.
Well, you got to like the athleticism, and they do have to learn to attack, but like I said, this was the key. I thought Notre Dame played a lot of selfish basketball in the first half, and now they're trying to get back in, and it's kind of like everyone is taking it upon themselves. Instead of sharing the ball, they have an efficient offense. When they work the ball, they can get any shot they want, and great shots.
There's got to be some level of shock as both free throws are missed by Allen, just a 65% shooter. But when you're Notre Dame, you've won 15 games in a row on the road. You've dominated the ACC. They've won 35 straight in the conference. There's got to be some amount of shock that comes in when all of a sudden the lead, which was 6 at halftime, should have been surprising enough, but it balloons out to 19 points. The Irish still have some time, but it's not plentiful anymore. Offensive rebound from Mabry. They look inside. No one touched it, over the head of everyone.
Notre Dame is really out of sync offensively right now. You can see the frustration all over their face. They're not getting the shots they want, and they're not playing great team basketball right now.
Both teams have really calmed down over the last several minutes, and Young is going to be called for a foul. But both teams, one of their last 6 from the field. And again, this is Notre Dame especially, but two teams that are very gifted offensively.
Very talented. They have prolific scorers on each side, on each ball club. NC State shot the ball. They've had great outside shooting. They've had solid play inside from Akila Mays and Nene Cole, but Dominique Wilson has led the way for the guards. She's played phenomenal tonight. And Notre Dame hasn't. Flat out, you know, I got to keep the game simple. Notre Dame has not played a great game tonight. They've had a tough start, and it's continued to be a tough start for them.
A lot of streaks on the line tonight. We talked about earlier, NC State perfect 8-0 at home. Notre Dame has never lost to NC State. The Irish have also won 10 straight conference openers, 3 here in the ACC and 7 in the Big East. Trailing by 19. They go to Turner inside, had her shot blocked by Mays, and a late whistle comes in. That's going to be it for Akila Mays.
That's a late whistle, and finally Mays does what I've been trying to say, that that's all she needs to do is stand there, hold her hands straight up. She's straight up. Well, she might have let that arm down. Yeah, the ref saw it. If she would have kept both arms up, she has the length. She's 6'5", but with her arms up, she's easily 6'7", 6'8". Make Brianna Turner, who's been struggling all game, just score over top of you.
Yeah, Mays is really the one player for NC State. Cole is also 6'3", but you mentioned that length. And
yeah.
Chelsea Nelson, who's a post, she's a smaller post at 6'1". Mays has the size to be able to at least bother Turner down low. Again, nobody can really hold her, but you can at least try and contain her. But again, the free throws, Turner, this has been a problem earlier in the game. We just saw Allen miss a pair, and now Turner misses the first. And Notre Dame as a team, very good from the free throw line, but Allen and Turner, that's the only area really that they don't excel.
I'm really surprised, Andrew. I thought Notre Dame would go down at halftime and really regroup.
Yeah.
Thought the light bulb would come on,
yeah.
like somebody would turn that switch on with Brianna Turner and Lindsay Allen, and they're still hasn't come on for them. That switch hasn't turned for Notre Dame.
It's been a third quarter dominated by the Wolfpack. Koenig still can't get anything to drop. That would have made it a 22-point lead. Instead, the Irish go the other way, and it's Westbeld who banks it in. One final possession for NC State, at least that's the way they'd like it, but the Irish looking to speed them up here. The fans thought that should have been 2 free throws. The Pack going fast. They could hold for the last possession, and now Koenig will pull it out.
And Coach Moore is livid on the sidelines, calling a play, and he's wants.
No, not going to be a bailout call here. Westbeld. This is good if it goes, and it almost did. But we'll go to the fourth quarter. NC State 51, Notre Dame just 34, a team that averages better than 82 points a game. It's been partially the NC State defense, partially the Irish. They just haven't had it tonight. We'll see if they can turn it on in the fourth quarter when we come back. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the ACC Network Extra. We are back here in the gorgeous new Reynolds Coliseum, NC State and Notre Dame. Hey, college gymnastics gets underway January 8th as the number 5 Florida Gators travel to NC State. Alex McMurtry leads the Gators after finishing 6th at NCAA's in the all-around last season. It's streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. We start the fourth quarter here, Chastity, and NC State with a 17-point lead on Notre Dame. You can see immediately the Irish are going to just defend to their best of their ability here and really turn up that pressure on the Wolfpack right from the get-go.
And they're playing great pressure defense. NC State is, and they force NC State. Dede Rogers takes an off-balance shot. So, but they still got a long way to go. And like I said, you can't be the one-stop shot and done. You can't be one and done.
And there, Notre Dame gets some second-chance points. They have really not done that all game. The Irish had just 4 second-chance points before that triple from Mabry.
And NC State has to be very careful because Notre Dame is not ever out of this game. As we know, they are capable of scoring and getting what they want on offense.
And they can really score it in bunches. And that's going to be the 4th foul on Turner.
A bad foul on Brianna Turner. Very, 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 very bad foul. She's got to come out of the game with 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
And so just when it seemed like the Irish, they forced NC State into a bad shot, rebounded, it went down, got second chance points, 3 of them, to cut it to 14. It looked like that momentum, if you're going to make up a 17-point deficit, you got to swing that momentum immediately. It looked like they were maybe going to be able to do that, and perhaps Turner coming out of the game is going to swing it right back.
Notre Dame has the other players that can step up, but still you want Brianna Turner in there if you're going to try to cut in this lead and really get back and get the momentum and go on a run. Notre Dame needs to go on a run. 8-0 run, 8-2 run, 10. Oh, wow. Well,
Ashley
everyone
Williams
in the crowd
is
saw
clobbered.
that, and we saw that. That's another frustration foul. That's another. Notre Dame is just out of sync, and you can see Marina Mabry talking to herself. She knows that was a bad foul.
Yeah,
she knows.
and because really Williams was already forced. The defense from the Irish has been excellent here, except for first the Turner foul, and now here both of them bailout fouls, needless fouls. And Williams, by the way, really good three-point shooter, struggles at the free throw line. But she's able to knock it down and extend the Wolfpack lead to 16. And as you say, the run for Notre Dame, it's as good as they are offensively, it's got to start with the defense, because I don't know how many more points as they feed Westbeld underneath. I don't know how many points Notre Dame is going to be able to score in the next 8:30. But they've got a full court pressure going.
Nice move by Westbell to get in, get inside, get low in the paint, get 2 off the glass. Notre Dame's got to find a way to get some easy baskets because they're so cold from the outside. And if they can get some defensive stop, get some transition buckets, they haven't played well in the open court tonight. But obviously NC State has, have to give props to NC State for that because they've limited it to one chance opportunity. They rebounded the ball well.
Certainly running the clock down. They look inside, and Notre Dame forces the turnover before the shot clock violation. 3 on the way from Mabry, and it falls. And just like that, Notre Dame has cut it to 11.
And they capitalize off of that turnover. Mabry plays with a lot of fire in her belt. She's an elite scorer. She's just had a cold shooting night with the rest of her teammates. So Notre Dame's fighting their way back in. That's why they call them the Fighting Irish.
So they've cut it to just 11. 7:37 to go. This is the first coach-called timeout of the second half. We'll step away for just a couple of moments here. Don't go anywhere. We've got a good one brewing in Raleigh. Seven minutes, 37 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. NC State leads number 2, Notre Dame by 11. The Irish trying to fight their way back into this one. Hello, everyone. Alongside Chastity Melvin, I'm Andrew Sanders. Here's a look at Marina Mabry, what she's done tonight. She's now the leading scorer in the game after knocking down that 3 before the break. They have leaned on the sophomore offensively with Turner in foul trouble. Dominique Wilson's been the hot shooter for the Wolfpack tonight. And Chelsea Nelson rose up above everyone, and she was knocked down. They're going to call Allen, I believe, on the foul.
When you see this play again, Lindsay Allen kind of got into Nelson's knees there on the box out and just a little too aggressive on that play. But give credit to Chelsea Nelson. She went after that rebound and got another possession for her team.
Correction, that Notre Dame foul that goes against Ogunbowale.
Oh, excuse me, Enrique.
Pull up from Wilson, missed everything. And NC State, as good as they were offensively in the third quarter, they dominated that third frame. They have just not had it against a Notre Dame defense that has been much improved here in the fourth.
Notre Dame defense has been much improved, but also NC State's not moving the basketball quite as efficiently as they were first half. Now Notre Dame is sharing the basketball, and they're getting open shots. Basketball is a simple game. You move the ball, and you're going to get open shots.
Notre Dame has made its last 4 shots, and they've cut it to just 8. They're on an 8-0 run. And again, we told you they could score it quickly in bunches. Nelson off the mark. Chance for second chance points. And a Notre Dame foul will be called. Now this is going to be interesting going down the stretch because that's already the 4th foul on the Irish.
And if the whistle gets tight at the end of the game, this game if it gets called tight, this game could go either way. And NC State's got to keep taking care of the basketball. You like the aggressiveness on the boards, but they got to get a good shot.
They're in a scoring drought right now. No points in the last 2 minutes and counting. And again, free throws could be a factor. Blow by from Spencer.
And Maya Spencer has been terrific all night, Andrew. All night, Maya Spencer has been absolutely terrific for NC State. I think that's now her 12th point. She finishes, goes up strong with the shake and bake and one, but she has close to 6 assists, 12 points right now, and she's a leader for her team.
Yeah, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. And as we said, most people would say, hey, Lindsey Allen is the best point guard in the country, but it's been NC State's senior point guard, and Allen coming off a triple-double. I don't think that Maya Spencer's going to get it. She's only got 5 assists, but she's having a triple-double type of game. Brianna Turner back into the contest with about 6.5 minutes to play. Remember, she's got those 4 fouls. Mabry trying to get it to her inside, locked up with Nelson, and that's going to be 4 fouls on NC State's Chelsea Nelson.
Chelsea Nelson is playing well. Coach Moore is coming in with Nene Cole right now. You just got to you can't get tangled up. Chelsea Nelson's got to be smart. Her team has the lead. Brianna Turner's just coming back into the game. See if she's can get into her rhythm. Let her get a shot or two. Don't make silly fouls.
Mabry, this is a 3. Splash for number 3. Marina Mabry with 20 points. The sophomore from Belmar, New Jersey, is carrying the Irish offensively.
And Andrew, I said one of the players for Notre Dame had to step up. Marina Mabry has taken it upon herself to step up and be a leader for her team, and she's putting out a great offensive output right now. Marina Mabry is playing big girl basketball, BGB, Andrew. You know what I call it, big girl basketball, and that's what she's playing right now, trying to get Notre Dame back in it.
Speaking of BGB,
Jennifer Mathurin is playing big girl basketball beyond the arc.
We saw Mathurin rush a couple shots earlier in the game. She drains the most important 3 that she's taken so far. Mabry misses this one, but an offensive rebound will lead to 2 points. It's Arike Ogunbowale. And again, the Irish, they've cut it to 8. NC State extends it back out to double digits. They cut it to 9 with that basket.
NC State working the ball around, and they got to make sure they take care of the ball because Notre Dame is trying to force turnovers. They're trying to cut into this lead. And great defensive pressure by Notre Dame right now. NC State is not finding the shot they want.
The Irish are doubling, and Mathurin walked.
That's not the shot they were looking for. Coach Moore is livid on the sideline, getting on Jennifer right now.
So this will be our final media timeout. It's a good one here. NC State trying to hang on against the number 2 team in the country and give Notre Dame just its 2nd loss in its ACC history. 4:52 left here in Raleigh. Number 2 Notre Dame trails NC State by 9 after the final media timeout. Less than 5 minutes to go. I'm Andrew Sanders, joined by Chastity Melvin. Chastity, Notre Dame has won 35 games in a row in the ACC. That is the longest streak in the conference since the Duke Blue Devils won 51 in a row from 2001 to 2004. That is on the line here with less than 5 minutes remaining. Lindsey Allen coming off a triple-double, trying to lead her team to victory here. They go inside to Turner. She's been awfully quiet tonight. 3 on the way. Notre Dame getting hot at the right time. The Irish 7 up for their last 8. It's the freshman Erin Boley who cans the triple.
That's a big shot by the freshman to come in with poise, just not under duress, because Brianna Turner, NC State had to decide whether they were going to double. She kicked it back out, and she made a big shot.
Yeah, Turner has just 7 points, but the NC State lead is now just 6 as the clock continues to tick. Dominique Wilson blows by 2 defenders.
Wilson with a nice move, slashing through the paint, and she's been phenomenal. I can't say that enough tonight. She wants this game. NC State wants this game, and they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. We talked about that earlier in the year. They're going to play with a chip on their shoulder, and right now they're defending their home court, K-Al court.
Good move inside, up and under from Arike Ogunbowale. And I tell you what, that's now 8 of their last 9. Notre Dame, when it's been gut check time, they have shot it tremendously well. But something to keep an eye on with that basket from Wilson on this end is that the Irish have already committed 5 fouls. That means as much as they'd like to pressure defensively, they really can't reach in because any kind of ticky-tack foul like that is going to be 2 shots. Jennifer Mathurin, another 3.
It's kind of early, but that was a huge shot by Mathurin right there to knock that 3 down. Like you said, every time Notre Dame seems to make a run, NC State comes back and puts a stop to it.
Yeah, a big shot for momentum purposes. Mabry, she's not going to miss right now. Completely in the zone. She's got 22.
Mabry is definitely in the zone, stepped up big time for her team, is keeping her team in the game. She's carrying Notre Dame right now, and the Fighting Irish, if they're going to have a chance, is probably going to come through her to get back in this game and get a lead.
Both teams kind of hit a scoring lull in that third quarter where NC State was able to pull away, stretch the lead out to 19 points, was at its largest point. Both teams here in the fourth quarter playing great basketball. 4 for their last 4. Spencer looking for an outlet. It's a little back cut. Wilson amongst the trees. She lost it. That's a shot clock violation.
Great defensive pressure by Notre Dame. NC State didn't quite get what they wanted. They tried that pick and roll action. Notre Dame read the play. They played great defense and caused the turnover. Now let's see what Notre Dame comes with on the offensive end.
This is everything we expected and more from the ACC opener. What a treat it has been, and still 2:30 to go. An inside post look. This is Turner. And did she reach over the back? If that's on Turner, that's 5.
And if you can get a look at the play,
it
there was
is
some
her 5th foul.
And there was a little bit of action on the offside. Right here you see it. Chelsea Nelson plays great defense, keeps her hands up, creates a tough shot for Brianna, gets the box out. Brianna does go over the bag. If they call it, if that's what the call was, she did go over the bag. And great play by Nelson. If young kids are watching this game, or any player, she finished that defensive play.
Yep.
She made Brianna Turner take a tough shot, but she finished it with the box out. And that, if we're clear on that, Andrew, did they call that foul on Brianna Turner?
That's what this little delay is because Notre Dame and Coach McGraw get to decide who they're going to replace Brianna Turner with. So 5 fouls on the All-American last year, preseason All-American this year. Brianna Turner, the junior from Pearland, Texas, finishes with 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and fouled out after 30 minutes of play.
Well, Christmas is over, but Notre Dame just gave NC State a Christmas gift with Brianna Turner fouling out. I don't see who can really step up inside for them, but Marina Mabry is hot. You know, she's on fire right now. She's carrying the team, so they're going to have to run offense through her, and she's very capable of lighting it up, and she's on fire right now, so they're going to have to get her the basketball.
And I don't know what the officials are doing right now. They took that break, and now it looks like they're going to go to the monitor, and the only thing that, without an explanation from them, obviously, the only thing that I can think of is they're going to check and either make sure that the clock is right or to make sure that the foul is on Turner. But I saw the official motioned initially. It was on 1-1, number 11. Your officials tonight, Lawson Newton, Rochelle Jones, and Bruce Morris. So we're going to get another look here. And again, as you said, Nelson defending Turner.
She gave her space. She raised it, just, made an arm bar, created a tough shot for her.
Now there is that contact. It's Dominique
there.
Wilson and Arike.
Arike and Dominique had kind of like a tussle on the. I don't know if they're looking at that play to see if there was maybe a double foul on that play, or they can kind of let that. Some plays you just got to let go.
Well, what they might be seeing is if there's a flagrant foul. And again, I hate to speculate at this point, but there was a long break, and I thought they were just going to replace Turner, and then the break continued, and now they're at the monitor, and so hopefully we will get an explanation here. The officials huddled up together. Well, we do know. 64-57, 2:21 to go. NC State led this one by as much as 19 points at one point. Notre Dame keeps chipping away. They have been at their best here in the fourth quarter. And we'll see if a decision has been reached. Now, both coaches are going to be called over, so they'll get an explanation.
Well, Andrew, an interesting note, and you probably read this as well. Coach Moore, I really want to get in that meeting on the sideline. Well, Coach Moore is kind of Coach Moore is disgusted with whatever the refs are telling him right now, and Coach McGraw.
It looks like there's going to be offsetting fouls.
Okay, that's what I thought. I thought something similar to that. But
and so in that case, that would be on Turner for Notre Dame, and also they're going to call Dominique Wilson at the same time for that contact, I believe.
And the Irish, the Fighting Irish are 3-0 in ACC openers, but all of those ACC openers have been at home.
Yes.
This is their first opener on the road.
That's a good note.
And
again, this is
still
one of the
plenty of
best
time,
teams
but
in history going on the road. They've won 15 games in a row on the road, 35 straight in conference play. And again, yes, we have gotten an explanation. The foul on Turner, but also on Dominique Wilson. So it means that Turner's out of the game. However, it'll still be Notre Dame ball. And so going back to the monitor and calling that foul on Wilson, that is huge because it means possession for the Irish immediately. They try and get it to Mabry, then Boley.
They have all their
shooters
shooters out there, but NC State has got to play great perimeter defense and protect the paint. And what are they?
Ogunbowale traveled.
Okay, I didn't hear the whistle. This crowd is.
It is awfully hard to hear the whistle right now.
I didn't hear the whistle, but great defense. They play great perimeter defense, NC State. Notre Dame has gone to small ball. They have their shooters in. They're going to try to light it up from behind the arc.
And so now, NC State with the ball, 7-point lead. And after that offsetting foul call gave Notre Dame the ball, NC State forces a turnover. Wilson marked by Mabry, 10 to shoot.
And Coach Morris wants her to keep the ball and wants her to attack.
Off balance. And rebounded by the Irish. Here
Enrique
they
in
come.
the open court. She goes all the way and finishes with the easy layup.
Enrique Ogunbowale cuts it to 5. Less than a minute and a half to go.
Coach Moore trying to calm them down. He's telling them to run the offense. They got to take care of the basketball. Play together, move the ball, and get a great shot. If they don't have a wide open lane to the basket, they got to take a great shot. And they got to find it inside.
Anytime you can get a point-blank shot for your post player, that is a great shot. And so Chelsea Nelson will go to the line for 2 pressure free throws. And Nelson, by the way, got a 71% free throw shooter on the season. That was a shooting foul, but again, NC State is in the bonus. There is no bonus, double bonus anymore in women's basketball. It's just 2 shots from here on out. Any foul against Notre Dame is going to be 2 for the Wolfpack, and a big free throw made by Nelson on the first.
Thank you, Andrew. I learn something new every day.
The foul went against Mabry. That's 4 on her.
Again, NC State, I don't know why they left Boley open there, but she was way off the mark after hitting a big-time 3 shot. She was way off the mark here, but Notre Dame finds themselves with a second possession as the ball goes off of NC State. NC State has been solid with outside shooting, solid play on the inside. And right here you see Dominique, I think, she's out of bounds when she touches it.
And this is under a couple minutes, so the officials can go to the monitor and look at it. And Wilson, I don't know what size shoe she wears, but whatever, if it was a half size smaller, she would have been in bounds right there.
Yeah,
As it is,
I think her pinky toe was on the line.
That's right, 7-point lead as we go under 1 minute to go.
NC State needs to guard that perimeter line there. Oh.
Offensive foul on Allen.
Ashley Williams is feeling it. Gets the charge. Her team is pumped up. The crowd here in Reynolds is on their feet. They are ecstatic. They're reacting to that play. They love those type of plays, and you love it when it comes from the smallest player on the floor. So great defensive stop by NC State. And if they can hang on to the ball and handle the ball, not turn it over under this minute, they might keep the home winning streak alive here in Reynolds Coliseum on KL Court.
If Notre Dame is going to come back, it's going to have to be late and great. Westbelt reaches in. This will send Maya Spencer
and Maya
to the free throw
Spencer
line.
is great from the line, and she's a leader, veteran, You know she's going to go. And I spoke to Maya the last game, and she told me, she was like, Chastity, I can't believe I'm a senior and it's almost over. So she wants to have a great senior year, and she's going to play with a chip on her shoulder all year, and she's a great player, great poise, great leader, has a mid-range game, has passing ability. And I love her defensive effort, how she intercepts the passes. She gets steals. She's great in the open court. You can't say enough about her.
Spencer tonight, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. As the senior toes
I love it
the
when these small guards can rebound the basketball. How many rebounds you said she had?
7 rebounds.
7 rebounds. Coming from your point guard. You got to like that.
NC State out rebounding the Irish despite being undersized, 37 to 34. 8-point Wolfpack lead. Make it 9.
Maya Spencer was cool, calm, and collective on those free throws. And Coach Westmore loves it. The fans love it, and Reynolds is rocking right now.
Again, this is what's on the line tonight. You mentioned the NC State home winning streak, and they're 8-0 at home, and that is certainly impressive. If they can hang on, it'll be 9-0. But Notre Dame, 47-1 in the ACC. They've won 10 straight conference openers. They've won 15 straight road games. I mean, this is the team in women's college basketball outside of UConn, whom they narrowly lost to earlier this year. No one's been able to beat them except Miami, the only team in the ACC that's beaten them. They've won the regular season title and the tournament title all 3 years. It was welcome to the ACC, an introduction, and immediately they took a stranglehold on the conference. But it has been NC State tonight, upset-minded, and they're 44 seconds away from pulling it off.
This has been an entertaining game, especially here in the second half. And it's just a tale of two halves. Notre Dame didn't come out with the energy that they needed. Boyle on the shot. They hadn't played well offensively all night. And when you get down 19, they don't find themselves down 19 often. But tonight they did, and that light bulb just never switched on for Notre Dame in this game.
The foul goes against NC State's Chelsea Nelson, and that's her 5th foul. So she is the second NC State player to foul out, joining Akilah Mays. Remember, Brianna Turner of Notre Dame has already fouled out. Other foul trouble, Marina Mabry has 4. She's the only other player on either team with 4 fouls. So Nelson comes out. She'll get a hand. Dee Rogers comes in.
And Nelson gets a great ovation from the crowd, as she should. She battled Brianna Turner tonight. She was on the boards, and she scored offensively. She was a spark for her team, X factor for her team tonight.
Mabry, 3 on the way, and she finally misses 1. We've got a foul away from the ball. Wilson is on the deck, and she will be charged with the foul. So Marina Mabry, she's got a game-high 22 points, 4 of 8 from beyond the arc. But Notre Dame is going to need a couple of those threes. They run her a quick little set. Look inside. It's Westbelt. Pretty scoop shot.
Westbelt has some nice fundamental post moves inside. You know, she has the body frame for that. She uses her body well. But Notre Dame was just out of sync tonight. And you got to say a lot about Maya Spencer and Dominique Wilson. They led the way tonight. These are 2 guards that a lot of players, a lot of coaches, when you're recruiting them, they're like, oh, they're so small. But the one thing about these 2 players is something you can't teach. They play with heart, and they work really, really hard. And they may be small, Andrew, but they play big. They play big, and they play big girl basketball tonight, and they're leading their team to a great win here in Reynolds Coliseum.
They certainly played big tonight. 68-61, less than 19 to go. The officials right now at the monitor trying to look at the clock, make sure they've got the right time remaining. You know, you said Notre Dame's been out of sync all game. They put on a great run here in the 4th quarter, but as it stands, and they're going to add about 2 seconds on this clock. The Irish trailing by 7. Unless they can force a couple of quick turnovers here, it's going to be just too little too late.
And like you said, Notre Dame might have been fatigued. NC State had 10 days to prepare for them. But I know Notre Dame doesn't have any excuses for the way they played. You know, they just didn't have it tonight. And as we said at halftime, Andrew, ACC stands for what?
Yeah, any club
capable.
All
clubs capable.
All clubs capable.
All clubs capable here in the ACC.
And that is life in the ACC. If you have an off night, even if you're Notre Dame, you can be beaten. Notre Dame team with 8 McDonald's All-Americans on the roster, a couple of All-American candidates. With so much talent. Allen not giving up yet. Pushing the ball up the court. She'll drive. She's fouled by Rogers. That's going to be the 5th foul, and so that is certainly a no-no for Dee Dee Rogers. This is going to send Allen to the line, and she can score with the clock off.
Coach Moore is so much fun to watch on the sidelines. Give a lot of credit to Coach Moore and his defensive schemes that he came with against Notre Dame tonight. He had time, like you said, had time to prepare and strategize, and he got what he wanted most of the night defensively for NC State. And I was fortunate enough to play under Coach Moore for 2 years, and the things he taught me defensively, I carry with me in the pros. So he has a great defensive mindset. And
Allen makes the free throw. Notre Dame just 4 of 11 from the free throw line in this one. And Dominique Wilson is going to dribble this out. NC State knocks off number 2 Notre Dame in the ACC opener in Reynolds Coliseum. The Irish lose for the first time in 35 games in conference. What a win for the Wolfpack.
Awesome win for the Wolfpack.
Maya Spencer, 17 points. Dominique Wilson, 18 points, led the way for NC State. For the Irish, it was Marina Mabry with 22 points. NC State took a 19-point lead in the 3rd quarter and were able to hold on. You see the excitement from Spencer, the Wolfpack senior.
And if it goes to say anything about the senior year she's going to have, she started out ACC play on a great start. Can't say enough about the terrific play from her and Dominique Wilson. They led the way. They're leaders. They're seniors, and they want to be in the NCAA tournament this year.
Well, this is a statement kind of win that'll certainly be a resume booster going forward. NC State improves to 11-3 on the year. They hand Notre Dame just their 2nd loss of the season. For our great crew here in Raleigh, my partner Chastity Melvin, I'm Andrew Sanders saying so long. The final score, NC State 70, Notre Dame 62. Good night from Raleigh. This has been a presentation of ESPN.